So today's lesson is kind of for, well, beginner players basically. And we're going to learn a few things that just about anybody can use. But if you're just starting out, we're going to learn the four most common chords in the key of C. And we're going to practice just changing on some of those chords, and then I'll give you a little bit of an idea of how you can use those chords for so many songs. Anyway, first thing you always have to do is to tune your ukulele. And our ukulele is tuned in the we count our strings from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 from the bottom. The string names are G from the one closest to our nose. This next string is a C string. That happens to be middle C on the piano. So if you want to get your pitch. And then the next string is an E. And the next string is an A. Now this is called re-entrant tuning. Notice that the fourth string is higher pitched than the third string. Linear tuning, this G would be a full octave below, but it'd still be G, C, E, A. So all the chord shapes, everything you know works, except that this one is an octave lower if you were tuned to a low G. So if you see that, low G tuning or linear tuning, that's what that means. This lesson I'm going to be using a re-entrant tuned uke, G, C, E, A, also commonly known as My Dog Has Fleas. Now one of the things I recommend that you do is to go out and buy one of these little tuners that just clip on the headstock. You turn it on and it'll tell you the name of the string when you pluck it and tells you that you're in tune. There's a little needle that goes up and down. It won't photograph. So I do recommend that you do that. There's tons of those tuners, usually $20 or less. A lot of times you can find them even cheaper. So that's our tuning, G, C, E, A. Next thing we want to do is we're going to go look at a couple of chords. First chord we're going to look at is the C chord. That's the root chord in the key of C. Now I want you to use your third finger for this chord. So we're going to put our third finger on the third fret of the first string. Some people we don't want to do this with the first finger. We want to use the third. And as we move through these different chords, you will find out why we want to use the third. Okay? So that's our first chord. That's our C chord. So you will see nomenclature that says it's 0, 0, 0, 3. And that's how you would know that that is a C chord. Okay? The next chord we're going to learn is an A minor chord. That's another one finger chord. This time we're going to use our middle finger on the first or fourth string of the second fret. Now remember, the fourth string is the one closest to us. Okay? And that is an A minor chord. So now we are 2, 0, 0, 0. Okay? Let's go back to the C chord. C, 0, 0, 0, 3. Now, strumming. Now that we know two chords, we got to figure out a strum. I'm just going to use my thumb. I like to use that. It's great for beginners. You can use your finger. You can use your whole hand. Whatever, eventually you'll work up some different strums. You'll work on some ups. You'll learn all kinds of different strum patterns. But for right now, we're just going to thumb strum this, which means we're just going to use our thumb. Okay? Because we're trying to concentrate on our left hand. Okay? And we don't have to worry too much about the right hand. But what we want is a nice light touch. Okay? We don't want to be digging in. Okay? And we don't want to do that. If you're digging in too hard, it's hard to brush across the string. We want to brush all four strings. Get a nice clear tone. Okay? Practice getting that finger down. It goes just behind the fret. Closest to the fret wire you are, the cleaner your tone will be. But if you're on the fret, you're going to get that. We don't want that. We want this nice clear tone. Okay? So now we got C. Now we got A minor. So let's do this. Let's do C 4 times. Let's do it 8 times. And then go over to this A minor and then go back to C. So it's C, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. Long C. Okay? So that's, now you got 2 chords. You can practice just working on changing. The important thing there is not to go any faster with your strumming than what you can change the chord. Because music is not okay. So we want nice, even. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay? So once you get it down where you can do 8 of each one at a reasonable speed, not lightning fast, but then try to cut it down and see if you can do 4. So let's look at another chord. Okay? This chord starts out with our second finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. That's like our A minor. But now we're going to take our index finger, our pointer finger, and we're going to put it on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Remember, we count from the bottom. Okay? So our chord shape. And you've got a little diagram there that shows you what it's going to look like. Okay? So that's our F chord. Okay? Let's go C, A minor. Let's go F, and back to C. Okay? Now we got one more chord to learn in this progression, and that is our G7 chord. Now our G7 chord, you're going to struggle with a little bit, okay, because you got to tuck some fingers in. But if we put our middle finger on the 2nd string of the 3rd string, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then we put our index finger on the next string over, the 2nd string, 1st fret, and then drop our ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So we formed a little triangle. Okay? So that would be 0, 2, 1, 2. And that's our G7 chord. Okay? Let's try all the chords together. Let's go C, and we're going to do these 8 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more C. Okay? Now try to keep your fingers down when you can. So from C to A minor, F is only adding a finger. And when we go to that G7, we can leave our index finger where it was and just rotate our hand and get the other 2 fingers down. Okay? Now, practice these chords. When you're smooth in doing it, here's a little thing for you to do. Pick out a song, okay, and any of the doo-wop songs are this chord progression. See if you can hear where the chord changes. Something, and don't worry about singing it or reading it off of a chord sheet. Just trust your ear, okay? When you know the chords, you can play that. And then you go, one song, or okay, so there you can find all kinds of songs that have those 4 chords in them and just a repeating chord pattern. So practice, but see if you can do some songs. just by humming the words. So anyway, that's it for today. So we've got tuning and 4 chords, our C chord, our A minor chord, our F chord, and our G7. And we'll be back and we'll show you some more stuff.